Hi guys, welcome to videos, and today's review is going to be about the 5 best Xbox 360 games. So basically I'm going to be reviewing 5 games individually and giving a reason for why I think that it deserves a place in gamers history, if you like. So I'm going to review them now, and let's do that. Alright, so the first game here that I'm going to be reviewing is Halo 3. Now, you can see here that it's only for Xbox 360, so that's a downside for some people. But the thing that I was attracted to with this game is the campaign on it. So the campaign was sort of like fighting against aliens. You're sort of like this high-tech soldier who's fighting against aliens, and also it's it was pretty good with all these like parasites that you got in there, ginormous parasites, and I also liked all the weapons you could use, and it was pretty fun riding around on the missions with vehicles. That was pretty fun. And you've got a whole host of vehicles there. You've got land vehicles, you've got air vehicles, you've got the lot. And then another thing is the actual co-op, which has got nothing to do with the multiplayer of it, but it's a co-op which is where you can go on it with your mates and spawn whatever vehicle you want or object. I've forgotten really how to do that, but and basically what you do is you just have a bit of fun facing your mate on it. So its phrase on the front here is actually "Forget Game of the Year. This is a game of the decade." So, you know, obviously that's their catchy phrase there. It's made by Bungie and Microsoft Game Studios. I'm not sure who actually produced it, but it says Microsoft Game Studios down there. And again here you can see it's only for the Xbox 360, but it's still very good if you you know, you go around to your mate's house and actually play on it with your mate that's got the Xbox. So that's one classic game, I think, very, very popular when the Xbox 360 first came out. One of the first games as well to be released for the Xbox. So, yeah, it's very good to play. Okay, so second, we've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, people will have mixed opinions when watching this. Some people will think that, you know, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is currently the best game out there. And some people think Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is the best game out there, out of the Call of Duty sort of series. But I personally think that Call of Duty 3 and 2 are pretty much incomparable. You can't compare two games that carry on from a game, you know, from a storyline, because that's sort of, you know, it's not right to do that, because they are similar, the gameplay's similar, the controls are the same, and so it's, you know, not very comparable in that respect. But, you know, it's an 18, it's made by Activision. With it being an 18, it's probably not very good for the younger kids, but, you know, nobody takes care of the number. It's saying here that actually it's the, again, just like Halo, it's actually saying the year's, perhaps the decade's most anticipated game, and that's by the official Xbox magazine. So, you know, you've basically got magazines and stuff saying that this is one of the best games. But you know, it was, I found it fairly difficult in some ways, because you did have some missions which were trickier than others, but it's definitely a game that is left its mark, especially in the multiplayer or the Xbox Live. And next we have Grand Theft Auto 4. Now this game is, you know, I've got to admit it, probably one of the best games that have come out so far for the Xbox 360. Of course, with the big release of Grand Theft Auto 5, which is coming out relatively soon. Again, it's classed as an 18, it's made by Rockstar. and you know, you can't really go wrong with this game. You've got cheats that you can use for it. You can use live, you can use, you know, you've got all these different options. You know, you've got a big map to play around, which obviously gives you a whole variety of sort of different gameplay, where you can go driving about or flying about, and really it's just, there's nothing much to say really, apart from it is a fantastic game. Many people find Grand Theft Auto useful for different things, but I certainly find it's useful for its cheats and things. So yeah, that's the other game. Next we've got Assassin's Creed 2. Now Assassin's Creed 2 came out some while ago. It came out after Assassin's Creed 1 obviously, but some people will admit this and say that Assassin's Creed 1 was fairly boring. You just ran about to 3 different cities, doing more or less the same errands. You know, you'd do 3 investigations which were pretty much the same each time, and then you'd have to go and assassinate somebody, and it was the same all the time, and it just got a bit boring because there wasn't much of a story to it. The character certainly didn't have its own personality, and frankly the gameplay just didn't seem that exciting. It also seemed a bit hard as well, and you felt a bit limited during combat with a sort of you only had a certain amount of moves that you could actually do. So Assassin's Creed 2, when this came along, it's drastically changed. Ubisoft have drastically changed their gameplay. Now you've got all these different counters. You've got all these, the whole different setting, and a whole different assassin as well. And the assassin actually has its own personality, because Ezio Auditore da Firenze, basically, I'm not going to go through story mode if it's a spoiler to you who have not got it yet, but it's basically a guy, and he lives in Italy, and his family gets killed, and he becomes an assassin. And you know, and then you've got Brotherhood after that one, and then you've got Revelations after that one, and it's all continued from the storyline, and you know, it's pretty good. And if you've seen the short film, which is Assassin's Creed Embers, you will see what happens to Ezio in the end. But so it basically, Ubisoft have actually fully developed a character and a setting, which actually allows the player to sort of live along the lines of an assassin from the day he was born till, you know, the days where he's very old and not as effective anymore. So that's Assassin's Creed 2. Also, yes, it's just want to say one more thing about this. It's it's much more interesting when you play on the game. You've actually got many places to go. The assassinations are much different, and they're more exciting as well. So that's that. And then finally, the last one that I'm going to mention today is Skyrim. Now, many of you will be agreeing with me in this, because we know how popular Skyrim is nowadays. Of course, you can see from the front there, 10 out of 10. And it's made by Bethesda Game Studios. So, The Elder Scrolls 5 has definitely made an impression. You've now got a game which drastically opens up a map. You've got much more gameplay. You've got, you know, many hours of gameplay where you can just go roam about, do whatever story you want without having to stick to the main storyline, or you can do a storyline. And this actually has 2 main storylines to it, so if you're one of those people that really likes sort of being free, doesn't like doing what the game sets you to do, then this game is definitely great for you. So you can see here that I'm just going to open it up again now and show you the the instruction manual and the map. The map, again, as I was saying with Grand Theft Auto, the map is very good to use. In fact, no, I didn't say it's about Grand Theft Auto, but just like Grand Theft Auto, it's got a coloured map. And basically what I think is that when you've got a map inside, it sort of brings out the game. It sort of includes you personally, you know, physically, behind the controller to actually get interactive with the game. If you want to find somewhere, you want to find a city, a town, a village or a place, then all you do is go to this map and you can flick through it and find it physically and then try and go to it on the game. So it sort of interacts you with it, and it adds more value as well to the game because you've got a map. And then just like Grand Theft Auto, it's got a coloured manual, which is very helpful actually, because you get a good and decent glimpse of what the game is actually going to look like. So, you know, again, Skyrim, you can't go wrong with Skyrim. It's a great game. If you're somebody like me that hasn't played Oblivion, or if you have played Oblivion and didn't like it, I certainly do recommend you actually go out and get Skyrim regardless, because it's a fantastic update. It's, you know, a massive step from Bethesda Game Studios, and as it says here, a masterpiece and mind-blowing. I completely agree with that, because it is, after all, a fantastic game. Certainly when you're doing the story modes and making your own armour and weapons, blacksmiths and stuff, you've certainly got a lot of gameplay there.